Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Unmuted Fridays where we discuss about real world integration challenges, business pain points and how we can solve those challenges with the solution that actually works. So I am your host Moinak Simani and today we will discuss about Zoho Expense and Dynamics GP financial system process. And to talk about this, I am joined by Satyam Kumar Shah, uh, who we actually work on these real integration scenarios between the Zoho Expense and the Dynamics GP. So, hi Satyam.
Hi, Mainak. Thank you. Thank you for introducing me and thank you for having me in this beautiful episode where we can discuss and where we will discuss about the problems and the solutions we have faces during during implementation of the expense management between Zoho Expense and Dynamics GP.
Yeah. So, main thing is Satyam. So, basically, modern companies now use the modern expense tools, and for the financial team, they are using the ERP system in their backbone. So, basically, that bridging that gap is, I think, very important.
Yes, correct.
So, let's talk about with the basics.
Okay.
So, how like the clients are using the Dynamics GP and the Zoho Expense in their systems?
Okay, sure. So basically, Zoho Expense was being used to submit the expenses, to submit the receipts, and to follow the approval workflow. And if I'll talk about the Dynamics GP itself can handle the general ledger posting and the commercials and reporting and all. So these are the two things that customers basically used for these two applications. So conceptually, if I'll say, Zoho Expense is was where expenses was originating, and Dynamics GP was where the expenses are accounting for and paid.
Okay. Okay. So, like, what were the actual challenges that client were like facing during they reach to AppSeConnect or reach us?
Okay. So basically, while implementing those solutions, I faced a lot of challenges. Whatever the challenges I have faced, few of them are actually coming in my mind right now. So let's simplify those things in a point wise. So first, I'll talk about the duplication issues. The second, I'll talk about the filtration issues, and the third is the monthly reconciliation. So if I'll tell you that there are a different type of expenses. Draft, that means the customer wants that expenses to be approved after some time, but right now they are in a dilemma that can be approved. And there
Okay.
are already approved expenses, and some of the expenses are already rejected. So these are the expenses that needs to be synced in the GP, but without filtration, but before AppSeConnect comes into the picture, these things are synced without filtration. And the data, each and every time, the previous data, means the expenses which is already accounted in the GP, is coming again, and that is also synced without any observation, without any you can say filtration. So that's why the duplication chances is also increases there. And thirdly, if I'll say, on the month end, when company is checking about these expenses, that which of the expenses needs to be reconciled and which of the expenses needs to be paid for, they are actually confused because multiple duplication is happening, multiple rejected expenses are also accounted there. So this is the problem, this is the challenges that every finance team and every company used to face, and even we also faced while implementing this.
So basically, if I just sum up, so there is the major thing that is the payment reconciliation during the month end process.
Yes.
And the duplication, as there are
Correct.
lots type like different or variant type of
Exactly.
expenses are generating through Zoho Expenses.
Exactly.
Okay. So now, just tell me, like, how did AppSeConnect approach to fix this issue?
Okay. So basically, by observing these common problems, AppSeConnect what did in this situation, they have dedicated a process flow. Means, as you know, that the process flow is something where we can automate the task, automate the flow between the expenses and Dynamics GP. So we put a filter, we put a check there where we are picking, where we are fetching only the approved data, approved expenses from the Zoho expense, and we are syncing those data to GP by just filtering those dummy data, those draft data, those noisy data, and this is all we did there.
Okay. And what about the like duplications issue? How did you handle that?
Yes, we have handled this duplication by storing the dynamic by storing the expense ID. As you all know that every expense should have some unique ID, so that if the expense will come into the queue again, then we can just separate those data by filtering out. Okay, this is the expense that already synced, that already been accounted, and now we can. Now what we have did, we have put a function there, and we have put a custom field and also in GP, where we have stored the data on the first time. When, let's take an example, that if an expense is synced from between Zoho expense and GP, that data will store, that dynamic ID which will generate, and means the unique ID will generate, that unique ID will be stored in that custom field. And if the data will come again, it will check the ID first. If the ID is already exist in the GP, it will reject that data, means it will not allow to sync the same data in GP, so that duplication issue will not occur. And if that ID is not present, then that function will allow you to push the expense in the GP. This is the way we have handled the duplication.
Okay. And how like did you handle this like expense classification types?
Expense classifications means every expense have some type. So while fetching the data, we have put a filter there. By that filter, we can get that, okay, this is the approved expense, and we need to fetch only the approved expense. Rather than approved expense, we can eliminate all those. So we are fetching those details in this criteria basis, and this is the way we have solved this issue.
Okay, so according to the requirement, you have like
Yes,
classified the each process flow
exactly.
with the each filter.
Exactly.
Okay, okay. So perfectly said, Suttam. So with this, I believe like we have like came to the end of this episode. Like I believe this solution will help any kind of Zoho expense users or Dynamics GP user to solve their problem, or any other businesses, like if you are facing any other challenges with any operational ERP system or any finance system. So you can go through with this session, and I believe it will be helpful. And still, like if there is any kind of challenges or if any particular issue you are facing throughout your business process, definitely you can reach to us. You can contact us. We will definitely suggest you a solution, and we will build a solution that will solve your all the problems. So now, Satyam, just tell us like what is the key takeaway from this integration?
Okay. Key takeaway in the sense that integration isn't it something that is moving the data between the applications, between the expense and GP. It's about the control data flow between those two applications. So if you say that key takeaway, then that means the control data flow between the two applications. This is what previously was missing. Right now it was in a structured way, we are sending those data.
Perfectly said, Satyam. So, with that, this brings us to the end of this episode. So, I believe those organizations who are using Zoho Expense and Dynamics GP, this episode will be a solution for those. And with any organization with any kind of other ERP or any other expense tools, you are facing any kind of challenges, definitely you can reach us or contact us so that we can provide you the accurate solution that will resolve your problems. So thanks, Uttam, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Mainak. Thank you for having me. It was a great session.
Thank you to all our viewers. We will be again coming up with the next Friday with a new episode. Till then, stay unmuted.